Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome here if it's your first time. In today's video, I'm reviewing the NF Audio RA15 Single Dynamic Driver IM. But before we get into it, I just want to say NF Audio is now, they've changed their name to NF Acoust. Don't ask me why, but that's the way it is. Let's get it. What's cracking, audio fans? It's David here from Prime Audio Reviews. The RA15 here is priced at $89. So it's an entry-level IM. It's creeping towards that $100 mark. That's what the box looks like. And where is it? It's in my pocket. There they are. Let me just remove my massive ear tips because the ones in the box weren't big enough for me. And I want to start off by talking about the accessories today. They're a bit on the lean side. You get 4 pairs of ear tips. You get a decent cable. It's decent enough, but it's got these stupid angled connectors. Why do you do it? And then we've got these aggressively curved ear hooks. Just please don't do that. Don't do that. And then we've got the shells, and there they are. Now the shells are fine. The shells are quite lovely. They're very small. They've got nice rounded surface on them. And by the way, we've got tunable filters here, nozzle filters. Everybody's doing this nowadays. I don't know why they bother, to be honest, because like pretty much every IM that comes with tuning filters, all the consumers, all the reviewers, they basically agree on the same one. So why not just make an IM, make it great, make it sound great, and say, here it is. Instead, they're like, no, let's, I think, it's probably more marketing than anything else. Yet at the same time, I don't want to say that because some people see more value in that. Anyway, so that's what they look like. They are very comfortable. However, I personally had issues with the stock cable. It is a little bit tangly because of those ear hooks, but because of those ear hooks and those stupid angled connectors, that's why I had to use my XXL ear tips to get a stable fit because, all right, sound, let's get into it. Balanced sound signature, slightly on the brighter side of neutral. I prefer the gold filters, like pretty much everybody else that I'm aware of. The silver nozzles here are a little bit brighter. They are more detailed, but you're getting into bright, harsh sharpness territory, sibilance, all that stuff. And in addition to that, when you're using the silver filters, the bass, the perceived level of bass is even lower. So let's start with the graph. And yeah, I want to say the bass it's on the lighter side in terms of quantity. Even with the gold filter, the bass is pretty light. Look, the mid bass is reasonably punchy, but the sub bass is definitely lacking authority and weight. It's got a really light rumble. It's almost like a balanced armature sub bass. But needless to say, these are not for bass heads or even for anyone who likes anything north of neutral in terms of bass quantity. However, the bass is speedy. It doesn't bleed into the mid-range, which is probably why they chose to do it that way. And on some recordings, the bass is actually satisfying, but on others, it just feels decisively lacking. It's a very controlled bass. It's got a nice fast decay, which of course opens up space for the mid-range to come forward. Segging into that mid-range now, the mids have got good clarity, good detail. Instruments and vocals sound fairly accurate and natural with the gold filter, that is, but they can sound, the timbre sounds a little bit off with the silver nozzles. We start to get a little bit of notes lacking weight, so thin note size. The mid-range is reasonably forward, again, because, it doesn't have to compete with a powerful bass. There's a fairly good amount of presence, and I'd say the upper mids don't get shouty or boxy. The problem is in the treble, where things start to go a little bit awry with the RA15. There's a significant 5 kilohertz peak, and yes, that does add clarity and presence, but it also introduces more sharpness. So if you got a poor recording, if there's sibilance on a track, using the silver filters, you're going to have a hard time with that. Even with the gold filters, there is a little bit, that if you're sensitive to that 5 kilohertz region, that's going to be a problem for you. Cymbals can get a bit splashy and thin. Again, with the silver filters, definitely. The upper treble's got pretty good extension, though. It's done well for the most part. It's the lower treble tuning that's going to cause problems with most people. And finally, for soundstage and technicalities, look, the soundstage is reasonably wide, but it has very limited depth. The detail retrieval is above average. You get good micro detail retrieval, especially with the silver filters. But in terms of imaging and layering, I would say they are just passable at this price point, but they both lack precision and depth. Right, couple of quick comparisons, starting with the RT T10, little planar driver IEM, and looks a bit funny, doesn't it? It kind of, for some reason, it reminds me of some kind of piece of medical equipment from the 70s, like something you see at a hospital or a dentist, because they are plastic and they're sort of this bone color or off-white color. But I must say, I find these super comfortable. They definitely give me a much more secure fit than the RA15. I find the fit on these just to be fantastic. But when it comes to sound, the T10 has got a warmer and a more full-bodied presentation. It's like really upfront. It's really engaging. And the T10 has much better sub-bass extension, and it's got a more authoritative bass response from, top to bottom. The mid-range is very intimate. It's very upfront. It'll sort of grab you by the throat and say, listen to me. It's nice and clear, good clarity. It's got good spacing between instruments. The T10 has got better treble extension. It doesn't boost that presence region as much, that 5 kilohertz region. So in that sense, it's smoother. The T10 has a rounder sound stage. It's got a rounder sound stage shape, so it's got more depth and it's got stronger imaging. And the planar driver, at least the one in the T10, has cleaner, sharper transients, which gives it overall superior resolution. Next up, going to compare with the SIMGOT EA500LM. Now, the EA500LM, where do they get these names from? It shares a similar tonality, but it presents a warmer and smoother character. The SIMGOT has got, the bass is more textured, it's more impactful, it's got more pronounced sub-bass rumble, even though, looking at the graph at the two, they look very similar in the bass, but the SIMGOT is definitely, for some reason, the perceived level of the bass is more. They're both fairly similar in the mid-range in terms of forwardness. The upper mids are a little bit livelier on the SIMGOT though, and the SIMGOT's also more forgiving on poor recordings and sort of handles any sibilance better. On top of that, the EA500LM has superior treble extension with added airiness, which delivers a wider soundstage and improved instrument separation. So between the RA15, the T10, and the EA500LM, I would place the RA15 in a solid third place. Look, it's a decent IEM. I love the metal shells are fantastic. They're not fingerprint magnets. I don't know why, for example, SIMGOT, why don't you put a little texture matte finish on there like that? These are fantastic instead of doing those stupid mirror finish fingerprint magnets and scratch prone surfaces that you make. Like, they don't get scratched up. So yeah, in terms of build quality, the RA15 here is the best out of the three, I think. But in terms of audio quality, I would put it in last place. So once again, it's a decent IEM, but at $89, and considering the accessories you get in the box, it just doesn't stand up to the competition, other options out there. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, Power Family Audiophile style. And if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on upcoming content. And until next time, I'll see you later.